came in obviously with a lot of plans, a lot of vision. How's that vision looking the year in?
Under construction. But no, we're pretty excited. I mean, we're happier now than when we got here in terms of the progress we've made with the organization, but I think more so we're excited about the direction we're headed. You know, we still have a long way to go. I don't know if I'll ever be satisfied with where we are, but you know, as an organization, we've taken some great strides forward, and we'll continue to do that.
Mike Hill had mentioned on FanFest, you know, just give us a chance. You mentioned that before as well. Just give us a chance. Why should fans give you guys that chance?
Well, I would say, you know, a good way to put it is come on out here and get to know us. You know what I mean? And we have a lot of young players here. We have players that got some experience last season. We have players that need to improve coming into this particular season here. But anytime you have a young group of players that come in, you know, fans may not necessarily know who they are. But, you know, take the time to get a chance to get to know them. And we have a lot of talent throughout our system now. We will continue to add to that talent. But we encourage the fans to come out here. We have a new in-game experience. Obviously, the ballpark's under construction now, and you know, we want fans to come out here and experience Marlins Park.
The JT deal now being over, and obviously that was a pretty long saga that they thought the conclusion would come. Are you pleased with the way everything worked out, the time it took to finally get it done?
We were never rushing into any particular deal. We didn't have to make a deal. Any decision we make with this organization is to try to make us better. And you know, we took our time. We were thoughtful. We did a lot of work, a lot of due diligence, and you know, we're happy with the return that we got. We have some exciting players that we're going to add to this organization. Obviously, Jorge will be here this year. We have some guys that we infused into our minor league system, and we continue to build, we continue to grow. But once again, it's up to us to help develop these players.
Derek, you always say the stated goal is to win now. You always say the stated goal is to win now, obviously. Yep. But realistically, what are you looking at here in terms of, everybody knows it's going through a build and what's happening. What are you looking at realistically in terms of a time frame where you'll think you'll be up there among the contenders?
I don't put a time frame on it, because anytime you put a time frame on it, you're telling your team it's okay to accept mediocrity. That's not the case. You know, when I've said it before, I'll say it again. When you compete, you're competing to win. Now, you do that every single day, and every day you come out here and you play a game, you have an opportunity to win. So, you know, that's the mindset that I want throughout this organization. It's the mindset that we're building and we're creating in the minor league system, and we're going to bring it up here to Miami. But you never put a time frame on it, because, you know, if you come out here and you say, oh, it's going to take us 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you're saying that it's okay to lose, but that's not the case.
How difficult is it for you to be patient?
I have no patience. I have zero patience. I've been preaching it. I don't have it.
So when you have to accept certain things that are on the time frame that maybe you would want, do you have to develop patience? Some substitute for patience?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have the right answer for it, but you know, we understand that you know, some things take time. You know, we're very excited with our draft class next year. We understand they're not going to be in Miami the next day. You know, you have to develop them over time. So I think patience is something that you have to learn. But I'm fine with not being patient. You know, it's like I say, we expect our players, when you're at the major league level, you're here for a reason. Because these players have been better than most other players in this country and in other countries as well. And when you're here, you have an opportunity to win. And you know, I can't preach that enough. Every single day, you take it one day at a time. It takes time, but the patience thing I have not figured out.
Derek, you said you were going to spend last season listening to fans. You listened to them for a year. What did you hear?
Don't you hear the noise behind us? I mean, you know, one thing I think that they were very focused on was our fan base was they wanted this ballpark to look, feel, smell, taste like Miami. And we have a lot of changes that we're doing within the ballpark. So, you know, our ownership group is investing a lot of money into this organization, into this ballpark, into this community. And we want, when people to come in here, we want this ballpark to sort of capture the energy, the feel, the dynamic, the diversity of Miami, which is very difficult to do. But you know, when fans come in here on opening day, it's going to look and feel like a completely different game.
Lance, you all were last in attendance last year in the majors. How are you?
Got room to grow.
Yeah, right. You started reporting them accurately, but what are your season ticket sales been like, and what do you expect attendance to be like this coming season?
Well, we expect it to grow, obviously. I mean, our season ticket sales, we've made some improvements when it comes to that, but you know, just a lot of the single game tickets just went on sale here recently, so it's kind of hard to answer that question right now. But there's a lot of positivity, I think, in the community here about this organization. One thing we wanted to do, especially when we unveiled our new logo and our new brand, that we went out and about and we shared that with the community. There's a lot of excitement. There's excitement here in this community, but yeah, we need the people to come out. You know, that's the bottom line. And you know, just talking from a player standpoint, you like when you have the support of your fan base. And you know, Fan Fest yesterday, a lot more excitement than there was last year. So we're happy about that. We're looking forward to the future, and we feel as though we have a bright one here.
Everyone talks about payroll and money spent, things like that. And you look at the way this team is going with young, then you sign a veteran like Granderson. You're kind of going along that process. At what point is there a point that you look to the future and say, okay, we can add a payroll, we can go out and maybe spend a little more money on established major leaguers or re-signing our guys?
Yeah, I mean, when the time is right. You know, so right now our focus is building on the young guys and giving them an opportunity. Us finding out where they fit in with our plans, our long-term plans, and giving them an opportunity. You know, I love competition. I don't like to bring up the fact that when I played, I felt as though I was playing for my job every single year, every single season, every single day. And we want that approach from our players moving forward. But we will always consider who we can add to our organization to make us better, but when the time is right.
You mentioned that you don't like to mention when you play, but obviously given the Hall of Fame, the nominations that we just made, the guys listening to class, next year's class, you're going to get that call. Is that something you've thought about?
And I've got a lot of other things to think about around this part, so no, I have not thought about it.
Derek, you talked about patience on the field.
I talked about I don't know how to figure out how to develop patience.
So I was going to say, what's tougher, patience with the players developing or patience with the organization getting going with the fan base?
Man, it's both. I mean, look, you know, I would love for everything to be fixed overnight, but there's a lot of things that we need to improve upon with this organization. And you know, repairing a relationship with the community is one of the biggest ones that we had to work on. I think we've made progress in that direction, but we still have to continue. Ballpark experience is something that, you know, I wish we could have had some of these improvements in place last year. Those take time. Moving forward, we're going to continue to make improvements to this park, continue to make improvements to the in-game experience for our fan base. So there's a lot of things to fix, but we're tackling each one at a time.
Speaking of
do you miss playing?
No.
Do you miss?
No.
Is it the same competitive juices in this chair as it was?
I like to compete. It's a little bit different, though. You know, I mean, you don't have an opportunity to affect the game day in and day out. But I do not. You know, I'm tired. I was tired when I retired, so I don't miss playing at all.
Speaking of missing, do you miss the statue out in left center?
Do I miss it? Well, the statue will be outside of the ballpark by next January, so you get an opportunity to see it.
You became a father again, I think. Congratulations.
Thank you. Pray for me. Yes.
Yeah, how's that going with now 2 small ones to?
It comes back to that patience word that I'm having problems with right now. But no, I appreciate that. But we could be more excited.
Yeah.
On the more detail, like I said, and I don't need to go through every section, but what are the changes that fans are going to recognize? Like, for instance, the Cleveland go to Stadium, things like that. Is that all changing going to be completely different, that left field area?
Well, I'd like for the center field. Yeah. Center field fits here, Jack, obviously. Access to the top level, anywhere from the promenade, the second level to the part of our SRO section that we're building out right here. Obviously, the club presented by Dex this year. I mean, you see the walkway now from inside out to the field, the views of the field from inside. So we've listened to our fans. I said this from day one. I can't tell you I'm going to make your experience better if I don't know what it was. And, we listened through our Demo campaign last year. We listened to what our fans liked, what they wanted to change. And this is you know, one of the steps. I don't want to say it's the first step because we have made some others, but this is another step along the way of us, you know, keeping our word with our families.
Cleveland Liverpool area, is that all remain there? I know it's hard to see. Is that similar how it was?
You have to buy a ticket every day and go out there and look.
Derek, you said that the first year you stayed away from the players. You didn't really talk.
I wouldn't say stay away.
You observed.
I watched from a distance. I had to learn.
You observed.
Yeah.
What gives you the sense now that you're getting the right type of guys to build something, what you want to build here, and the type of culture you want to have?
I have a lot of faith in our player development system. You know, we've added a lot of quality people to our system, whether it's on the scouting, the department, we're getting the right players, and then it's our job to develop those players. You know, I kept a distance, I should say, so to speak, because I wanted to learn about the players last year, the ones that were in the organization that I didn't know. Went down to our minor league affiliates and watched some of the young guys we have coming up. So I used last year as sort of a learning experience, and now it's you know, I'm always involved. I'm involved in everything around here, but you might see me a little bit more down in the clubhouse.
It's been a long time, I apologize, but there was this notion for decades that nobody would ever go into Cooperstown unanimously. How fitting, from your perspective, was it that Mo gets to be the first to?
Yeah, I mean, well, at first it's hard to believe that no one has gone in unanimously prior to. But Mo, no one deserves it more than him. You know, we keep talking about someone that did his job as well as anyone that played the game. And he's a quality individual. He's a Hall of Fame person outside of just being a Hall of Fame player. I had the pleasure to play with him since I was 18 years old. So we grew up together. We're like brothers. And I couldn't be more excited for him.
What's the thinking behind the new building, Marlins redesign and mascot?
Yeah, well, I mean, we redesigned everything here. Our logo, our colors, our brand. And Billy was a part of it. So I think it's, you know, it's just a part of some of the changes that we're doing.
We talk about Don and having a contract. He's under contract, that's the way it is. But what are the advantages and disadvantages when a manager has just 1 year remaining? And what do you kind of look for, knowing that, you know, for the future with him, if he's the right guy?
Well, I think it's like everyone in this organization moving forward, and that's on the baseball side or the business side. Everyone's up for evaluation at the end of the year. And then we see how we're going to move forward. So, you know, Donnie's under contract. I've known Donnie for a long time. I've played with Donnie shortly. He was one of our hitting coach, he was our bench coach. I learned a lot from him throughout the years, but like everyone else in the organization, he's under contract, and we evaluate that.
A year from now, when you stand here and talk to us, what do you hope to be talking
You're assuming I'm going to sit here and talk to you.
We're assuming we're hoping.
That might be the bigger question. What do you hope to be talking about the roster and the team, or the question to be at that point?
Improvement. We need to see improvement. Right? We need to see improvement from some of our younger guys that got an opportunity to play last year. That's how you get better. I mean, we can sit and talk about minor league systems all you want, but it gets to a point when you're in Miami that you have to develop and you have to improve year in and year out. That's how you become a great team. So hopefully we're sitting here talking about how much our players improved in 2019 from 2018, and you look for them to improve again in 2020. But I just think we constantly have to improve.
Derek, you have a very unique...
You mentioned the positivity of the offseason. The reaction to the colors. There was a buzz in town about Victor, for example.
Yeah.
There have been off seasons here where there was no positivity. I know you weren't satisfied.
Making your jobs easier.
I know you weren't satisfied, I'm sure, with it. But would you say it was an off season in the right direction, given that there were some positive buzz moments?
Yeah, we're taking steps in the right direction. Look, I never shied away from the fact that there's a complicated history here with the fan base. I get it. We weren't here for that. And, you know, we're taking over an organization that hadn't had much success at all for the last 15, 16 years. So in order to change that, you have to make changes. We made changes. We knew it from our opening press conference. I said we're going to make some unpopular decisions at times, decisions that people don't necessarily agree with, but I think the fans have spoken. So they want to see a team that has an opportunity to win year in and year out. And we have to build that.
You have a very unique perspective, Derek, on being a former player, now turned owner, and when you gauge what is going on this offseason with the upper echelon free agents, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, is it good for the game, the way that it's dragged out?
Well, it gives you guys something to talk about or not talk about for the last few months. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming from a player's perspective, and you wish all these guys were signed. I mean, that's especially when you're talking about some of the top players in the game. But there's a lot of things I could say that probably go on behind the scenes that you're not privy to. There's a lot of information out there. So, you know, when you're making a decision like this as a player, I mean, you're making a decision on your future, not just for you on the field, but your family as well. So I think guys take their time when they make decisions. I think now teams, when you talk about analytics and measuring value of players, and I'm learning about this because this all came in basically towards the end of my career. But I think teams are making choices and decisions based on that as well. So I think there's a long thought process that goes in on both sides before these decisions are made.
There's just one more about FanFest.
Yep.
What were you most pleased about that day? It seemed to be a really good turnout.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I was pleased with the turnout. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine. Just to talk about that and all the activities you guys had going seemed to be really interactive with the fans, and the players were involved. They seem to really be buying into what you guys were doing, at least the core guys and you guys are here.
Yeah, I mean, well, we were first and foremost we were excited about the turnout. I mean, there was 3 or 4 times when it started downpouring there, but it didn't stop the fans from coming. So, you know, I think the support that we've gotten from the community is better than it was a year ago. I think people understand what we're doing here. I think people are starting to believe in the future, but we have to continue to improve upon that. And you know, like I said to the fans when I spoke to them, we're not going to make any promises as an organization that we can't keep. So when we tell you we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And, but the fan reaction to the players' reaction to the new logo and the colors, I think everyone is excited and they're looking forward to next week.
There's a lot of positivity also coming from within the organization. I know you're not a guy who cares about the outside opinions, but do you care, or do the players, should they care, that from the outside people think this is going to be one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in baseball this season?
First I heard of that. That's not, no, so what are we supposed to be worse team?
Well, I mean, according to the so-called odds makers and people who come up with this stuff, I mean, does that bother you? Should it bother you? Should it bother the players?
I would take it as a slap in the face if I was a player. Someone told me how bad it was supposed to be. You know, that's the approach you have to have. You got to go out there and try to prove people wrong. You know, the reason you get to the major league level is because you have an extreme amount of confidence in your ability. So that should not change because someone said you're expected to lose the game. So I would personally take it as a slap in the face.
You make a lot of baseball decisions that may not be popular